guys, so I'm going to do a series of sort of like half-hour stretching routines, focusing on different body parts. So today we're going to do legs, sort of going for forward splits or scissor splits, and then at some point I'll do a back, and I will do hip openers for box splits or middle splits. Yeah, so let's get started. So working on the legs today, so we're going to start by standing at the end of our mat. We're going to take a nice deep inhale and reach up to the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold from the hips down as far as we can go. And then we're just going to soften the knees and inhale, come back up, reaching up to the ceiling as we're inhaling and exhaling, folding back down. Do a couple more of these. So inhale up, exhale, fold back down. I'll do one more. Okay, and on this one, I want you to hold on to the back of your legs or hug behind your knees if you can, and just try and pull yourself down a little bit further and breathe. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And soften the knees and come back to standing. Okay, so next up, we're going to stand with our feet wide apart. We're going to do some pancake taps because I love them. I think they're really good. So rolling down one vertebra at a time, and then we're going to tap forwards, middle, and back through our legs. And we'll do a few of these. So forwards, middle, back, forwards, middle, back. Okay, we'll do 3 more of these. Middle, back. Last one. And hold it in the middle. And now we're just going to walk our hands over to one side and pull our body down towards that leg, all the time making sure we're concentrating on our breathing. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, and then walking your hands over to the other leg, and same again, just pulling your body down, keeping your knee flat and locked out, so your legs nice and straight. Last breath. And bring your hands back to the middle. Now, keep your hands where they are. We're going to do another exercise now where we're going to bend our knees as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to straighten them, trying to keep our body that little bit lower. So inhale, bend your knees, and then exhale, straighten. We'll do a few of these. Inhale and bend, exhale, straighten. Do 3 more. And last one. And then just soften your knees and roll back up to standing. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more sort of active conditioning stretching now, just to really warm ourselves up so that we can do some good stretching. So coming to the end of our mat, we're going to do some reverse lunges. So we're going to bring our knee up to our chest and then we're going to step back down into a lunge. So we're going to do 10 of those on each side. So ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back up. Okay, now the next one we're going to do, should be starting to feel a bit warm now. I'm not sure if I'm just warm because it's a nice day or if I'm actually warm. So we're going to do some leg pulses. So these are really good conditioning exercise. I'm sure any of you who've been in my class have done them before. You might want just a chair or a table or a wall or something just to balance yourself. You don't need to, but it can help. So I'm just going to hold on lightly to my pole. And we're going to start with one leg out in front. And we're going to lift it not too high, we're just sort of pointing it out in front. And we're going to pulse it for 8, and then we're going to hold it for 8. And then we're going to raise it, pulse for 8, hold for 8. And then we're going to raise it a third time and pulse for 8 and hold for 8. So you see why you don't want to start too high because you've got to go 3 times. So starting with the leg out in front. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. And lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. And lift again and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And switch sides. So, other leg. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. And lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. And lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 7, 8. Well done. Give your leg a bit of a shake. And coming back to the first leg again, we're going to do the same again, but this time we want our leg slightly out to the side. So I'm not looking for horizontally out to the side, we want it sort of diagonally facing forward like that. So, and again, lifting and pulse. 7, 8, hold. And lift. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold. 4, 7, 8, and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Oh God, that's hard. Okay. And other leg. Should be feeling nice and warm after this one. So again, diagonally out to the side, lifting, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift and pulse. Hold. And lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 5, 6. Well done. Give your legs a shake. You should be feeling quite warm now, but we're just going to do another sort of active stretch and then we'll get on to some deeper stretching. So for this one, again, you're going to want like a chair. You can hold on to a chair. And we're going to do some leg swings. I'm actually going to hold onto my pole. So we're going to start with forwards leg swings. So we're going to do 10 on each leg. Then we'll do them out to the side, and then we'll go behind. So swinging up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and grab it with your hand and just hold it. And release. And other side. I'm going to check this side. So, and again we go with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold it as high as you can. And release. Well done. Now we're going to swing out to the side. So again, same as before, it's sort of like a diagonal rather than directly sideways. So 1. I won't make you hold it this time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Last ones now that we're going to do are behind. So with this one, you don't have to keep your body upright. You can allow yourself to sort of come down a little bit. You can stay upright, but that's going to be more of a back stretch, whereas if you let your body come down, it's going to be stretching more in the legs, which we're aiming for today. So, am I kicking, I think? Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And other side. If you haven't, don't worry about having a pole. You can use a chair or the wall. Okay, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well done. I hope you're feeling warm. I'm feeling warm. It's very warm. Everybody's warm. Cool. Okay, so coming down to the end of our mat, we're going to start by we're going to start by folding down and then walking our hands forward so we come up into downward dog. Now, if your hamstrings, the back of your knees are feeling a little bit tight, just walk through your feet, trying to push the backs of your heels into the mat. Just give them a nice walk through. And then we're just going to go up into a 3-legged dog. I won't do the reps, I'll just do it holding it. So taking a leg, holding it up, and you want to push your chest towards that back foot as well. Try as well to keep your hips square, so I'm trying not to open up like this, but I want to stay facing forward with my hips. And bring that leg down, have another little walk with the feet, and then we're going to kick the other leg up. And bringing that foot back down, and then we're going to step forward with our left foot so that we come into a nice deep lunge here. You can have a little bounce if you want to. If you bring your hands to the inside of that front foot, have a little bounce. And then bringing our hands up, we're going to sweep our hands, drive them up to the ceiling, keeping the back toe tucked under. So you should feel this nice and deeply in your hip flexor. Look up at your hands if you can. Again, with all lunges, really, really important to make sure that your knee is directly over your heel. So I say this all the time, but it is really important because if you notice yourself doing this, that's putting pressure on your ankle and it's not really stretching in the right places. And if we're doing this, again, it's not quite stretching in the right place. So you want to make sure that you've got this nice straight line in your leg there. Okay, and then dropping, untucking the back foot, dropping the back knee, and then coming down onto your elbows if you can. If you can't quite get down there, you can just stay on your hands. You can practice bending your elbows a little bit, just trying to get a little bit lower. Okay, and then coming back up onto our hands if you're on your elbows, we're just going to roll the front foot out onto the blade of our foot. So yeah, you've got the side of your foot resting on the floor. So you should feel this in sort of the outside of your hip as well. You can push the knee a little bit if you want to. Okay, and bring that foot back up. Bring your hands up onto your leg, and then we're just going to try and pick up the back foot. Now, if you can't quite reach it, grab a scarf or a towel or a band or something, and you can wrap it around your foot and use that to pull it towards you. And then if you can, sweep the other hand back and look up at it. Balance. And dropping the back foot, we're going to shift our weight now onto the back knee, and we're going to come back into a hamstring stretch. Now, so our front leg's going to be straight. We want to make sure that our hips are square. So to check that your hips are square, have a look at them here and make sure that they're in a straight line. So what you don't want is to be sort of going off to one side and noticing them diagonal. They should be parallel with your mat. And once you've checked that your hips are nice and square, you can just lean down over that leg as far as you can. With this one, again, we want to make sure that we're keeping our back nice and flat so we're not curling like this. So if you try and think about getting your tummy button onto your leg rather than your chest, it might help keep your back nice and flat. You can have a little bend and point of the toe if you want to. Well done. And then coming forward, we're going to walk that front foot across, and we're going to come down into a pigeon pose. Now my pigeon pose is quite open. Doesn't matter if your foot's back here, that's fine. The important thing with this one is, again, the hips. Have a book or a cushion and just pop it under the outside hip. So what I'll do is I'll turn around so you can see. So if you're finding yourself rolling off to one side, grab a block or a book or a cushion and just pop it under that hip. That will keep your hips nice and square and facing forward. So if we're comfortable in this position, we can just lean down over that front leg and come down onto our elbows. Okay, and then coming back up, we're gonna try and pick up the back foot. So again, with this one, if you can't really reach the foot, just grab a towel or a scarf, or a resistance band can work as well. So I will demonstrate. So just hook it around the foot or your ankle, and you can use that to pull the foot in towards you, like so. Again, making sure that we're keeping our hips square. You might find that your front leg wants to come in a bit, that's fine. Just make sure that we're not rolling off to one side, we're keeping our hips nice and square. And putting that foot down and coming back up, and this time we're going to do another hamstring stretch, but I want you to stand up this time. So both feet are on the floor, front leg's nice and straight, don't worry about the back heel being on the floor, and again thinking about getting our tummy button down over that leg and breathing. And then from here, we're gonna, this way, step up back into downward dog and give your feet a nice little walk again. Okay, and then stepping forward with the right foot. I remember everything I did now. Okay, so again, hands coming to the inside of that front foot, and then just having a nice little bounce. If you want to, you don't have to bounce. And then sweeping the arms up to the ceiling, sinking into the lunge, looking up at your hands. We can look forwards if you want to, making sure, just double check everybody now, make sure that your knee is over your heel, foot's tucked under. If you're really struggling with the foot tucked under, just drop the back knee. It does still work, it just makes it a bit deeper if you keep the foot tucked under. And bringing the hands back down, dropping the back knee and coming down onto your elbows if you can. If not, again, keep your hands up and just practice bending your elbows and getting your body a little bit lower, wherever's comfortable. If you want to deepen this stretch, you can keep the back toe tucked under. So I normally do it with my toes tucked, but my hip flexors are a bit sore today. So I won't. I'm just going to grab a drink, stay there. Okay. And then coming back up onto your hands if you're on your elbows. And then just rolling the front leg onto the blade of that foot. And if you want to, you can push a little bit with on your knee, but just be careful. I think this is called the lizard or something in yoga. Not too sure. And then coming back up, making sure again that your knee is nice and over your heel, and then picking up the back foot, sinking down into that stretch. Try and pull it in towards your bum. This is a nice quad stretch, this one. And then sweeping the other hand up to the ceiling. Dropping the back foot and coming back into a hamstring stretch. Again, make sure that your hips are parallel with the end of your mat, so we're not twisting. The common one I think is to twist sort of outwards like that. We want to make sure we're nice and straight that way. And then thinking again about getting the belly button towards the leg and keeping that back nice and flat and straight. And breathe. If you want to point in and straight, flex the toe, you can do that as well. Keeping an eye on your hips, making sure you're not coming out of line. And back up, walking that front foot across into our pigeon sit. So again, making sure that we are not rolling off to one side like this, but we're nice and square. So getting that cushion or book if you want to. I find on this side I do tend to roll a bit more, so I might just grab my book. For anyone who hasn't got a yoga block, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is a good size as a substitute. I'm sure everyone's got a copy of this book in their home. And then leaning down over that front leg, coming down onto the elbows. The cushion might actually be comfier if you're wanting to put something under there. Okay, and then coming back up onto our hands and then just trying to pick up the back foot. Again, you might want to shuffle the front leg in a little bit or grab your band or towel. I find the string around a dressing gown works really well. Better than a resistance band actually because it's not stretchy. So that's quite good. So just try and pull that foot in. All the while we want to make sure that our hips are staying square. We're not rolling off to one side. And dropping the back foot. Coming back up, I feel like I've forgotten a bit, and coming up into this hamstring stretch, like so. So again, thinking about tummy button going towards the leg. Okay, well done. Bring the legs in together and roll back up to standing. So that's usually my sort of go-to lunge sequence for splits training. Now I'm going to do a couple more active stretches. So if we come down and lie down on our mat. So we're going to sort of do some more kicks, I suppose. So we're going to start by bringing our knee into our chest for 10, and then we're going to kick our leg up straight for 10. And then on the 10th one, we're going to pulse it and up for 10, and then we're going to hold on to that leg and try and pull it in towards us. Again, with this one, if you can't quite reach your leg, a band or a towel or something, or a scarf is really useful because you can pull it with that. Okay, so let's start. So knee to chest first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and try and pulse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and grab the leg and pull it in towards you. And then we're just going to flex and point the toe for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then just try and pull it in a little bit more. We want to make sure that our knee is locked out, we're nice and flat with our leg, and then I want you to push really hard against your hands for 10 seconds. So it's sort of we're pulling with our hands but pushing away with our leg for 10. So go. 1, 2, don't worry if your leg starts to shake. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Keeping that leg pulled in as much as we can. And we're going to do that once more. So pushing really hard against your hands for 10 and then relaxing. This is a good one to do with a partner. If you've got a partner, they sort of lean against your leg with their shoulder and you can push into them really hard. Okay, when we're ready, and pushing, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Put it in and then release it back down. So when we're doing that one, when we're holding our leg and putting that resistance, it sort of builds up the muscle and it allows your leg to go even further back because you've got all this resistance and then suddenly it releases, and you'll find that each time you go back, particularly when you do it with a partner, you get a little bit further each time. So next leg, when we're ready, knee to chest first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and pulse. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab the leg, pull it in towards you, and flex and point the toe for 10. 3, 8, 9, 10, and pull that leg in, and then we're going to do 2 sort of resistance pushes onto the leg. So get a nice grip on your leg, and then ready, 3, 2, 1, we're going to push as hard as we can and pull with your arms. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull it in a bit closer. And again, you might actually, even if you don't need to use a towel, you might find it a bit more comfortable having this around. So it might just be easier on your arms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Well done. Give it one last little pull in towards you and drop the leg. Well done. Your legs should be feeling fairly loose now. Grab a drink. And what's the time? Okay, we'll just finish off with a nice sort of easy stretch like this, and then we can do, I'll show you quite a good way of getting into the splits or of sort of working on your form and everything in a sec. So I'll just do this last stretch now. So we're going to start with our toes pointed, flexed, legs out in front, make sure we're sat up nice and straight, and then we're going to inhale and reach up to the ceiling, and as we exhale we're going to try and reach forwards past our feet or in that sort of direction. Once we feel like we're as far forwards as we can go, then you can drop your head. But the reason I get you to do that, reaching forward rather than just going for your toes, is because people often round their backs in this position. So if you're reaching up and trying to go forwards, keeping that chest nice and forwards. Again, with this one, if you find that you're sort of like here and you're struggling to even get further than that, grab your trusty book or a cushion or a block and just stick it just under your tailbone, so you're not sat completely on it, but just so it'll tilt your hips forward a bit and help you keep in the right position. If you're super flexy in this position, you can try pulling on your toes, and you can almost lift your heels off the floor. That will really get the backs of your knees down into the mat. And then reaching forwards to come back up and dropping the arms. So same again now, but with the toes pointed. So inhaling and reaching up, exhaling, reaching forwards past the toes, and then dropping once you're as far as you can go. And then reaching forwards to come back up. Right, just to finish off, I'm going to show you one really good way of sort of training your splits. So it doesn't matter, anybody can do this, it doesn't matter how low or not low you can go. This is just a really good sort of exercise, and it's going to keep our hips nice and square. So we're going to start by standing up, and we're going to just stand with our legs sort of not too far apart, just comfortably like this. And then I want you to think about, imagine there's like an invisible string or wire that's pulling your legs together. So you want to use those muscles to really pull your legs towards each other. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but what that's doing is squaring off my hips. So that's why this is a really good exercise and way to get into the splits, because it will make sure that your hips are square. Because very often people tend to open up their hips when they're doing the splits, and we want to try and be able to keep them square, because it's better form, better for your hips and stuff. So starting like this, we're going to pull as tightly as we can together for 10 to 20 seconds. So I'll let you all do it in your own time, because obviously everyone's going to go to different points. And then after 10 to 20 seconds of pulling, we're going to take a step further apart and do the same again. And we're going to do this until we get down to the floor, or until we're as far as we can go. At some point, obviously, we'll put our hands on the floor. If you want to have blocks or cushions or books or anything either side to support your hands, then that's fine. Okay. Ooh. So yeah, now I'm coming down with my hands. Pulling those legs, imagining an invisible string, just pulling them together. Again, I'm not really counting right now. If you can do this in at your own pace. Everybody's different. I probably haven't really been holding these for long enough. I said, if you prefer to be up straight here, you can have, I need another book really on the other side, but you can have a book here. And then switch to your other side once you've got as far as you can. And I'm going to do my other side. And then we'll just do a little cool down at the end. So again, I'm really squeezing together, bringing my hips nice and square, legs are pulling together. If you've already finished, skip the video forward. Or you can sit and do, like sit in a butterfly. That's always my go-to kind of neutral sitting position. Okay, once you've done that, done all of those, I'll just do a quick little cool down stretch. So just to release everything. So we'll come down onto our mats, we'll hug our knees into our chest to begin with, and then straightening one leg. We're gonna keep one bent, have the same arm as the bent leg out to the side, look at that hand, and then roll that bent leg away from the straight arm, keeping your shoulder on the floor. That's really important with this one. I want to keep the opposite shoulder on the floor. And coming back to the middle, switching the legs around. So again, opposite arm up to the side, look over at that hand, keep the shoulder on the floor as we roll away on that knee. And then coming back into the middle, we're going to cross one knee over the other leg. We're going to have that leg bent, and then the arms are going to come through the hole, and we're just going to pull that leg in towards us. I hope you've all enjoyed that. Oh, I was going to say, what I often do, if I don't have time to stretch, they say that you should really stretch like 3 or 4 times a week, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do like a whole hour 3 or 4 times a week, because I know that can be, oh sorry, switch legs, that can be very time consuming. So I will just quickly show you what I call my homework stretches. from when I did a stretch course in the summer, and we had homework stretches. And basically you can do these if you just do 5 on each side, hold it for 30 seconds each time. Just do it when you get up in the morning or when you've got out of the shower. So that's just a deep lunge like this. So again, always making sure that knee is over your heel. So holding that for 30 seconds and then coming back into a hamstring stretch for 30 seconds. And if you do that 3 or 4 times a week, if you just get into the habit of doing it, you don't have to warm up, just do it when you're like warm from getting out of the shower or getting out of bed, or just warm in general. Yeah, so if you just do that 3 or 4 times a week, you will start to notice a difference after a few weeks probably, because I really did when I was doing it. I have been a bit lazy with them recently. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching.